Hey,
voice.
teaching in general is the dog and pony show. That's what I always call it. We come in and we do the dog and pony show. We're not rolling yet, are we?
Yes, we are.
Make sure that makes it to YouTube, right? Okay. So here is the brain. The brain again has three major parts: the cerebrum across the top, the cerebellum here at the bottom, and then coming out of the base would be the brain stem. We'll start with the cerebrum. We'll work through the parts on the external parts of the cerebrum, and then we'll move in. The cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres. So you can see here across the model where we have this separation. These are the two hemispheres, and those hemispheres are then divided down into lobes. You have the frontal lobes, you have the occipital lobe, the temporal lobes, and the parietal lobes. And you'll see that those correspond to the bones of the skull. This separation that separates the two hemispheres is the longitudinal fissure, and then separating the cerebrum from the cerebellum is the transverse fissure here. Across the side of the brain, there is a slight groove called the central sulcus, and in front of that would be the pre-central gyrus. Behind that would be the post-central gyrus. And then across the side of the brain here, we see another groove. This would be the lateral sulcus. Okay. On the inside of the brain, we can see the cerebrum here ends with a structure that actually acts to connect the two sides of the brain together. This is the corpus callosum. And below that here we have a wall that separates the ventricles. This is the septum pellucidum. The pink area here represents the choroid plexus. The rounded structure underneath that would be the thalamus, and sitting in the center of the thalamus would be the intermediate mass of the thalamus, or the massa intermedia. Below the thalamus here, having kind of this rough W shape, would be the hypothalamus. If we come back to the back of the brain here, we see a small little structure here just underneath the corpus callosum. That is the pineal gland. And then here would be the midbrain, again having kind of a rough M shape. Going underneath the midbrain, there is a tube. That would be the cerebral aqueduct. And then underneath that here would be the medulla oblongata. And in front of that there would be the pons. We see the fourth ventricle here. And at the base of the fourth ventricle, or at the base of the structure would be the fourth ventricle. This would be the arbor vitae inside of the cerebellum.
Where's the optic chiasm?
Okay, if we look at the base of the brain, we see that there are these elongated structures here. These would be the olfactory bulbs used for sense of smell. And then we have this X-shaped structure here, which is the optic chiasma. And we can see the pons again from this external view, and the medulla here as well.
This looks so funny in this little bitty camera. It did not look like the base of a brain. I'll tell you that.